You dare show your face again here at my dojo. At the dojo of Valenark, dojo of greatness. You dare show your face without your pen, your notebook, your pencil? Big mistake. If you want to be my student again, then you must review. Let's go. We have no time to spare. Last time. Ah. E. U. E. O. Ha. Ka. Ki. Ku. Ke. Oh. I see. You have trained well. You still remember the old ways. And it is very important that you train in both the old ways and the new ways. This is the method, and therefore the way that we follow. You yet remain a worthy student to me. Valen, Professor Valen. And therefore, I welcome you back into the dojo of greatness. The dojo of Valenark. Are you ready for today? Great. Let's hop on in. We don't need this anymore, right? Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today, now that we've got the old review knocked out of the way, what are we gonna do? Hit up that chart real quick. We're gonna do 2 brand new columns of Katakana, just for you. Starting with Sa, the whole S column and the whole T column. Now, today might be a little painful for you, considering we have Shi and Tsu. And oh boy, they look very similar, but they are written differently. I want you to mentally hype yourself and prep yourself for those 2 characters specifically. Today we're going to take it a little slower on them, just to make sure that they hit home. And then we're going to hit up some new vocabulary. I told you last time we'd go over your favorites, Chang and Kun. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So come on in. Let's get ready here. Pull out your notebooks, pull out your pens, and let's hit up the first character. Now, what do we always do? We go straight over here, and we click it, and we look at the stroke order first. 1, 2, 3. All right? 1, 2, 3. Sa. 1, 2, 3. Sa. All right? It's a perfectly acceptable version of Sa here. Don't worry about it. Don't measure. Knock that off. She. Oh God, we've already got one. We've already got one that you need to be careful with. It's that quick. 1, 2. Start at the bottom and go up, okay? This is important here. 1, 2, bottom and go up. And I want you now to take note that these 2 strokes right here are going somewhat horizontally. They're not coming down vertically. They're going at kind of an angle here. You see that angle? This is important, and you will soon find out when we get to the next column why it's important. But first, let's just do it. 1, 2, 3. Shi. 1, 2, 3. Shi. Alright? And, hey, this is the one that everybody likes to use as a smiley face over in their Twitters and usernames and Discords and, you know, who's and what's. It's not a smiley face, it's the character Shi. Alright? I mean, you can have fun with it if you want, but that's not what it is. Let's keep going, shall we? So, okay, we're back. We're back to a nice and easy one. Now this is good. Check it out. 1, 2. That's it. Give yourself a little easy one here. 1, 2. So, look at that. This one's a fun one. You know what? I like this one. So, this one's got the brand of approval, as far as I'm concerned. Next up, we've got Se, and hey, this one's easy too. 1, 2. 1, 2. Se. 1, 2. Se. Now this is a little bit more round than I would like it. Remember, katakana is a nice, pointy, lethal object, so try to maintain that pointiness at all times. Now, you can get away with the curvature here, because that's how it's supposed to look, but don't you dare curve this. That should be a nice sharp point. Alright? Se. Keep it going. Now, gotta be careful with this one. So, look at it. Going down. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, down. Remember with she, we came up. So let's be careful here with so. 1, 2, so. 1, 2, so. Now remember, she was more like this, right? Now you don't need this little serif here. I like adding it because there is a way to write it like that with the serif, and it makes me happy. It makes me feel like this when I write it. But the point is, for she, okay, this is so. For she, it's a little bit more horizontal. For so, it's a little bit more vertical. All right, now that difference is oh so slight. So if you're just starting out and you're not quite getting it, don't worry about it. You'll get there. The more you get used to it, you'll get there, trust me. All right? So, with that said, hey, you did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sa, shi, su, se, so. And that marks column number 13. Day number 13, if you're doing these in order of days. And I know that I have been pumping them out about once a week. Hey, right on over usually Wednesdays here in Japan. So if you're watching on YouTube, it's a couple days after that. Gotta edit it and throw it up. Come on, you know how it goes. But anyway, let's move on to column number 14. Ta, chi, tsu, de, to. All right. What do we got? Well, number 1, the stroke order for ta. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, I want to show you something here. We're gonna write it first. One, 2, 3. Now you'll notice this right here is going through a little bit. That little stroke there. That's just how this font turned out. Now if you go back to here, you'll see that they did not push it all the way through. And I think this way is more standard, and this is the way that I write it. This font is a little strange, but I wanted to show it to you so that you know it exists, all right? For our purposes, we're going to do it like this. And do you remember our old pal Namae? Doesn't this look oh so familiar? It's part of a kanji. You should already know how to do this entire character just by virtue of knowing half of the kanji for na in namae, or name. Right? So this should not be difficult for you by now. If you have properly put namae into your rotation, like I said, you should. All right? Once again, this is ta. 1, 2, 3. Ta. All right. Next up, we've got chi. Take a look. 1, 2, 3. The stroke order on this is similar to the beginning. If you remember watashi. Remember watashi starts like this? So anyway, it goes in and then out. Right? So same thing here. Chi. 1, 2, 3. Chi. 1, 2, 3. Chi. Alright? That's it. Okay, brace yourselves, because before we had shi, which looks very similar to tsu. What does this say? Look at that. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's go back and look at shi again, just to compare here. 1, 2, 3. Now, not only is the direction of these two little quotation mark looking things slightly different. For shi, remember, it's a little bit more horizontal. For tsu, it's more vertical. not only is there that difference, as a result of them being more vertical, the order in which you write them is also different from shi. Shi, you start with the one on the right, and then the left, and then the bottom. For tsu, you start left, right, and then straight down into the bottom. You catching me? Peanut9 says, "Hi, Sensei. You're really good. Keep it up." Peanut9, you're really good. You're breathtaking, okay? Thank you for joining us. Let's keep going. With tsu, be careful, okay? Like I just told you here. So we're going vertical now, right? So we want to go 1, 2, 3. Tsu. 1, 2, 3. Tsu. Right? You can always come back here and make sure you're doing it right. You can check shi and check tsu if you need to. So here's the slight difference in how they look. This is tsu, and this is shi. So if you want to kind of exaggerate the stroke here like I did and make it, instead of more like this, which is how it should be, you can make it even more vertical just to make sure as a beginner that you're not going to trip anybody up trying to read your character. You can do that. Otherwise, this is she. Otherwise, it really, once you start getting better at writing, it's going to start to look more like this, right? This line's going to be more curved. But for now, it's easier to see and recognize the difference between them if you kind of exaggerate the stroke a little bit. So that's why I'm doing it. And that is tsu. All right. Hey. Easy one. Easy alert. Wee woo. 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Now, if you want to be a little stickler pants there, please do note this first stroke is shorter than the second stroke. No matter how you write it, the second stroke needs to be longer if you want a proper and beautiful he. By the way, the character, well, not the character, but the word te by itself just means hand. A little bit of trivia for you. Kara means empty. So what is karate? Empty hand. Fighting without weapons. Though I guess they do use weapons sometimes as well. But hey, little trivia there for you. There's your little extra bonus word for today, okay? This was te. And last one, got yourself rounded out with that nice, smooth, easy stroke there. 1, 2, to. 1, 2, to. 1, 2, to. Okay? Remember in hiragana, it looks like a toenail. This one doesn't really. Looks like some kind of Norse rune to me. But that is katakana. Arguably easier than the hiragana version. But remember, always maintain the sharpness at all times. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That was to. Hey, just like that. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to. All of column 14 done under your belt. That was sashi suse so tachi tsu te to. Alright? And if you need to, you should still be reviewing these. Don't forget that. I know I'm going to keep repeating that every time, but that's because some people just need to hear it. Pull out your notebook, write all the characters. It should go really snip, snap, quick, quack. It should be very quick. Okay? So you need to throw in the S column and the T column into your rotation. If you are still struggling back here in hiragana and maybe just barely starting katakana, don't move on yet. Keep up the struggle, keep up the good fight back here in hiragana. You will join your brethren on the front lines as soon as you're ready, okay? You'll be the reinforcements, we'll send you in, and we'll have a complete fighting force all the way at the end of katakana. Trust me, you'll be fine. So, with that said, what are we going to jump on into today? Well, let me show you. Up until now, we've got watashi, hito, namae, anata, kata. And last time, Minna, aka everyone. And by the way, before we move on, I do want to clarify, last time we went over minasan and minna. Basically, when you say Minna with sang, you don't have the two N's. That's the difference, okay? If you're just saying the word Minna by itself, you need the two N's there. So, na, right? Na. That's the only difference, all right? So for whoever was confused with that, there you go. But today, we're going to learn 2 whole words. Bonus word. You know why? Because one of them is just hiragana, and that is chan. Now, if you'll recall, if you're following this good old book here, Minna no Nihongo, which, by the way, everyone's Japanese that you know Minna now, so you know half the name of this book. We are still working on the vocabulary here, and now that we've finished minasan and sang, we can move on to chan and kun. All right, first things first, chan. Now, we could talk for a rather long time about this, I'd say, but I'm going to try to simplify things as best I can here. Now, I've written here, affectionate suffix added to a name. And that's probably the easiest way I can convey it. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, though, so I have to give some examples here. Number 1, people, when they're first starting Japanese, they might think or might have heard, depending on who is teaching them, that this could only be used for girls. That's not true. It is, in comparison to kun, which is the word we're going to learn next, right after this one. You cannot use kun for girls. Or I suppose you could, but it would sound like a joke, or you're trying to be weird or something. It's not natural like that. That one is reserved for the boys. Chan can be used for both girls and boys, male and female. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump on into the word here. So you should remember this hiragana, right? Chi. And then what did we have here? Ya. So wait a minute, Valen. Why isn't this Chiang? I'll tell you why. Because you know why? Because this character here is actually small. And it might be hard to see with this font, but if you see this box that I put around this here now, you see how chi and n are going all the way to the top of the box, and ya has been turned into a little tiny ya. And we're not gonna go over these just yet, but there are super secret pronunciations still left within hiragana and katakana. Now, you thought we were done when we went over gagi guge go and ji zuze zo and daji zude do babi bube bo and papi bube po. You thought we were done? We're done with characters, but we're not done with combinations. See, there are a few combinations left, and one of them, we're going to go over all of those later, so don't worry about it for now, but I want you to know for right now, so you can learn this word, that one of those combinations is chi, and little ya turns into cha. You feel me? Cha. Okay? Now, there are only a few characters that can be subscripted like this and attached to other characters to morph into different pronunciations. So please do not get bogged down with this right now. We will go over it later. For now, this is cha, and since it's attached to it becomes none other than chang. Number 1, pronunciation. Say it with me. Chang. It is not chan. So number 1, separate those out of your head like that, and separate the pronunciation chan with chang, okay? Because they're completely different. If you say chan, what are you doing? I banish you back to pronunciation practice way back in the first few episodes, so don't make me do it. I will banish you again. I will not expel you, because I'm a comforting professor like that, but I will send you all the way back. Chang. So anyway, let's get to the point. Valen, what are you doing? Peanut 9, do you plan to do some kanji lessons? We are going to do another kanji today. Up to this point, we have done several kanji. We're going to do one more kanji again today after chang, and that's going to be kun. Now, chang does not use kanji. It's just written in hiragana like this. Kun can be written in hiragana just like that, but it also is often used with the kanji version. So we're going to look at that after this. But for chang, like I said, it's a kind of affectionate suffix added to a name. So number 1, let me tell you the times that you would not use this. Do not use this for somebody who is older than you. Just across the board, we can just get that right out of the way. Do not use this for somebody who is in some kind of superior relationship to you, like your boss at work. Even if your boss would be younger than you, even if you were in that situation, do not use this. Obviously, if you have some kind of personal relationship with them, this can start to change, but for the most part, that's how it goes. And so when would you use this? Basically, usually it's a little bit feminine, it's a little bit more for the girls, but it can be used for boys too. And it's for somebody that you have a closer relationship with and you're really friendly with each other. So an obvious case would be boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife could attach this to the end of their name. So if your friend's name, for example, was Yuki. Now, if they're just your friend and you're still kind of in a early portion of your relationship or something, and you're still calling each other Sang, that's fine. Even with your friends or coworkers that you have a good relationship with. But let's say you really start getting closer and you've been friends for a while, you might start saying something like Yuki-chan, right? And I would, in my head, this is a girl, but I suppose there is the boy named Yuki as well, so this works for either one. But the point is, you would say the name and attach chan with it, and this will be attached to the first name. If you attach this to somebody's last name, I don't think I've ever heard it used like that. I don't know that it would be unnatural, but I'm gonna say that it would be just because I've simply never once in all of my years in Japan, which there are many, I've never heard it used like that. So because it's a very personal suffix. So, and let's say your husband or wife was named Yuki and you often refer to them as Yuki-chan, right? That's another situation in which it's fine. And that's pretty much all you need to know with this. So I would suggest that you throw this vocabulary word into your rotation, where you're out there, doing your katakana runs in the rotation again, a, I, u, e, o, and that looks like hiragana. There we go. Keep it sharp. Keep it pointy. And you continue on in there, and then you just throw in your vocabulary word, right? Throw that in your rotation and keep practicing it, right? And remember, the ya is smaller so that you can get that cha. Okay? So, with that said, let's head on over. What do we got here? Peanut 9, this kanji is going out just for you. Here is the kanji of the day, and this one is, read this here, this hiragana right here. Kun. Right? This is kun. And if you're following along with your vocabulary sheet, you'll see that that's the next on the list, and it says suffix often added to a boy's name. Thanks, says Peanut 9. You're welcome. Just for you, buddy. And so, like I said, I even put the little asterisk here. This is for males. Do not attach this to a girl's name unless you have some kind of joke going on or something. Anyway, this should be for boys. So, when would you not use this? Basically the same thing as Chang. You would not use this for somebody who's older than you. That would be really weird. I don't know that it would be rude in most situations, but it would certainly make the person be like, what? So don't do that. And yeah, if it's just an acquaintance or somebody that you're not very close with, do not throw this on their name. So again, Yuki. Let's say this is the boy. We got a boy named Yuki. Or let's say you're 35 years old And Yuki-san, which is how you would call them without being friends yet. Let's say that person is, I don't know, 23 years old. Not a little boy now, are they? But they are younger than you, and let's say you have a good relationship with them, or you've been working together for like 5 years, and you guys are pals. You know, you get along at the office. Yuki-kun. Yuki-kun. Ohayo, Yuki-kun. Good morning, Yuki-kun. It makes me feel weird saying that, because I don't often use this myself, but that's when it's used. And again, if your name is Yuki and, you know, you get along so well with your wife, and she calls you Yuki-kun. So cute. So affectionate. That's what it is. It's a suffix added to the end of a name in place of the more formal sang that we learned last time, right? So sang for all other occasions, perfectly polite, but kun would be used for this situation that we've just gone over. So now that we understand all of that, what do we do for kanji when we want to know the stroke order? We come on over here to Jisho, and you can type it in Japanese, ku, and you'll see before I even put in the N, it already popped up. It knew what I was doing. Computer smart like that. You could just leave it as hiragana, or you could press spacebar, pull out the kanji itself, because you know that this is it. And there it is. Now, you'll notice the first thing that comes up here is kimi. Now, for those of you that just love your anime so much, you might often hear kimi wa, right? Kimi is, it uses the same exact kanji. So how do you know when you're saying kimi instead of kun? Well, context. Is this character coming after somebody's name? Then I can guarantee you, if that person's name is Yuki, they're not saying Yuki Kimi, they're saying Yuki-kun, right? That's how that would be. So context. If this was coming at the beginning of a sentence and it was saying kimi wa, and then something, 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 that's when you're using kimi, right? At the beginning of a sentence or something, or when it's not attached to a name. So anyway, I don't want to confuse you, but I just want you to know that that's why you'll find these both in the dictionary here. And for kimi, it's kind of a very, very personal way to say you. Now remember, last time we went over anata, which just means you. And most of the time, you don't use the word you in Japanese. It's very assumed based on the context, so you gotta be careful with that. Peanut9 says, well, I'll see that kanji as a suffix. It's easy to see, I guess. Exactly, Peanut9. If you see this attached to somebody's name, it's a suffix. And if it's not attached to somebody's name, it's probably kimi or something else. So until you get to more advanced Japanese, that's the perfect way to look at it, Peanut9. So anyway, now that we've got my little lecture out of the way there, remember you can click the kanji over here to see the stroke order. Okay, this is going to be maybe not as difficult as Minna was last time, but it's still up there. So we start in the top left and do one full stroke straight on down. And then right in the middle there, and then finish it off, and then come down. And then you give yourself that box that you probably remember from May. And Peanut tipped $1.22. It's not enough, but hope you'll get the partnership, bro. Peanut, much love, my friend. Thank you so much for that donation. Much appreciated. You have officially destroyed Icy Purr's record of $1. Icy Purr, get out of here. What are you doing, Icy Purr? Now you got one-upped by Peanut9. Thank you very much, Peanut9, for supporting the stream. And I hope to see you here for every class. So let's try this out, shall we? Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's fairly straightforward. You ready for this? 1, 2. Notice that this is longer. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kun. And by virtue of learning kun, you've also learned kimi. Congratulations. But when you're studying it, I want you to not think kimi. I want you to think kun, because that's what we're learning right now, okay? Let's see that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kun. Boom. Done it. Feeling good? Throw this into your rotation just like you did with the other one. Okay? You've got several kanji under your belt now. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th kanji that we've gone over in this class so far. And we will continue pretty much every time with at least one vocabulary word, I'm thinking, but today was 2. And that's because they're kind of like a set. Chang and kun. The affectionate suffixes, basically. Now, I want to make sure that you really understand this, though. Personal ties are necessary to use chang and kun, okay? You're not going to be running around like saying, Vin Diesel, chang. You're definitely not going to say that. Because, now listen, I told you that you can use chang for males and females, right? But it also sounds weird if you attach it to somebody that's like really manly, even if they're younger than you, and even if you do have that cool relationship. Now, and actually, hold on, Valen. That's not entirely true, because let me give you a good old Google search here. I'm gonna go into Japanese real quick and type in Shua-chan. Who's Shua, I wonder? Let's just leave this alone. Oh, there he is. There's our good friend Shua-chan. Mr. Schwarzenegger is affectionately referred to in Japan as Shua-chan. And this defies all logic because that's really weird. Yet everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people know that he's referred to as Shua-chan. Schwarzenegger has been shortened into Shua and suffixed by chan for some reason. I guess it's some big joke that's always been going on in Japan because he's so buff and manly and he's the Schwarzenegger, but he's Shua-chan. Ohayo, Shua-chan. Right? That's how it sounds, okay? Anyway, we don't have Vin-chan though. We don't have Diesel-chan. Diesel-chan? No, weird, strange. It should be Diesel-sama, because you owe him your utmost respect. We have not learned sama yet, but we will, and that also uses a kanji. But regardless, hey, there you go. You learned chang, you learned kun. That's the big 2 for today. So, with that said, hey, you know what? I'm feeling good. It's been a good class today. We got Peanut 9 in here. He gave me money, and you know that makes me feel good. And Peanut 9 says, what about Tono? I don't know that you'll ever really use that. I think you mean, well, if you just use it by yourself, it would be Tono, like this, right? With a T. Tono. Tono, yeah, it's kind of, like it says here, feudal lord, it's really old. There's actually, he actually died thanks to our most hated COVID-19 guy named Shimura-ken. Now, if you ever watch Japanese TV, real Japanese TV, not that fake crap that everybody thinks is Japanese TV overseas with those game shows and stuff, that's not really how it goes here. This guy is a comedian, and he was my favorite comedian. Dating way back. Born 1950, Showa 25, and unfortunately passed away earlier in 2020. One of the first big deaths of COVID-19 here in Japan. But anyway, why am I showing you Shimura-ken, my favorite guy here? Because if you search in Japanese, Baka Tono, arguably one of his most famous characters. And if you want some real laughs and you want to practice your Japanese listening and understanding, I recommend you look up Baka Tono or Shimura-ken. And if you want to spell Shimura-ken, it's like this. Valen, what are you doing? Helps if everybody can see it. What are you, stupid? Here it is. Baka Tono, Shimura-ken. This guy, Well, if you watch anime or anything like that, you know that Baka means basically idiot, or stupid, or dumb. There's a bunch of different translations, but Baka Tono is like Lord Idiot, and it's one of his most famous characters. I was feeling good, but now I'm feeling a little melancholy, because I sure do miss Shimura-ken, my hero. So you know what? I dedicate that $1.22 from Peanut 9, and I dedicate this entire stream to Shimura-ken. May he rest in peace. That is not a joke. I do respect the man and wish he was still alive. With that said, thank you all for joining me for today's class here. I've got some thanks to give. Peanut 9, I will thank you profusely again, but we also got some new followers here. Who did we get today? Funkney Fungi, T.I. Annie, Angemon07, Rylan, or Rylan? Sorry about that. I can't. I don't know these names. I'm gonna screw up all of them. I'm sorry about that. Altasonus Official, Jana6XX, and we've also got Loria11286, and of course, the beloved Peanut 9. I like your name, Peanut 9. I can pronounce it easily. That makes me happy to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, please keep the rotations going every day. I recommend you do it before bed. You throw on my show if you want to, or you throw on some nice cool tunes, whatever you gotta do. And you sit down with your notebook about 20 minutes, that's all you need. And you will knock them out every time, guaranteed. The more you do it, the more they get committed to memory. And then by the next time I stream, you should be good to go. I'm thinking about keeping it at least every Wednesday here in Japan. So if you're over in the US, that will be Thursday early morning for you. Otherwise, keep a lookout on YouTube. I throw them up every time within the next few days. So again, thank you all. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Peanut 9. Peanut 9 says, have a nice day, man. Peanut 9, you have a nice day. And I hope to see you next time, buddy. So, take care.